another one. Desiree D. Ray Wise here, and this is Food for Thought, okay? Um, Today we are cooking some vegan enchiladas, sweet potato and black bean enchiladas. And I want to talk about the power of our ask, the power of asking questions, okay? Listen, I know many of us grew up afraid to ask questions in a sense, feeling like there is a such thing as a dumb question, or even like from a religious perspective, being told or being taught that not to question God, or even when it comes down to our parents, the people who raised us, being raised with this thought process of you can't ask your mama and daddy nothing, just do whatever the hell they tell you to do. That's how I was raised. But as I am getting deeper on my spiritual journey, I'm realizing that we need to ask questions. We need to ask for clarity. And there's so much power in that. There's so much power when we ask God, our higher divine selves, like, okay, what's going on in my life? Why is this happening? What does this mean? A lot of times, we're just going. We're just going through life, right? And recently, I've just been asking the divine more questions. I've been asking my grandmother more questions. I've been asking my mother more questions. Even when Dream and I are having a discussion, I'm asking questions, right? I want that clarity. I want to have a certain level of awareness and knowing, so that my next moves that I make, so that the action that I take is actually in alignment with what is best for me. So we're going to talk about a little bit of that today while we are cooking these black bean and sweet potato enchiladas. Y'all, I am not as prepared as I was last time. I think today has just been a busy day, and so I am not as prepared. So yeah, I may be doing a lot more moving around today than I did last time. But if you're in here, say hey. Luckily, the kids area over there is a little bit clean, because I was about to go and close that door over there thinking that it was going to be a whole bunch of mess on the floor. But I'm not ashamed of what it's looking like over there, right? As y'all can see over there on the wall, we got some artwork. You can't fully see the telescope that's right there. One of the bins is kind of hanging out. It's full of toys and all of that. I'm not ashamed of it. I was a little bit concerned. I was about to be like, ooh, let me close this door, because I don't want y'all to be seeing, how my kids be doing their thing. But it looks like it is okay over there. All right. So this recipe that I'm making today, I sent it out in an email for those of y'all who are subscribed to my email list. If you're not subscribed to my email list, I recommend that you sign up there, because what I would really love to happen, I would really love when I'm doing or cooking these meals, I would love for y'all to cook some too, right? I would love for us to make the same meal on the same night, and us, kind of talk about how it's going, talk about what we like, talk about what we didn't like about the meal. So every time I do these food for thoughts, the ultimate intention is to, of course, feed my family, all right? But also, I just want us to feed our spirits, right? Feed our minds with, some high vibrational thoughts, feed our hearts with love, right? Feed our souls with overall well-being. That's the ultimate goal. And so I just think coming together over a plate of food is like the most, it just never gets old. Like for me and my family, what we do is we eat. And I know a lot of the health people that are out there be like, food be the number one thing that be destroying the black family, because everybody's eating hog, mog, and pork chops and all of that stuff like that. And I'm here to say that we can do it healthier. We can still enjoy coming together with each other, eating, talking, laughing, all the good stuff like that, and make it good. So this meal today is exactly that, right? Black bean and sweet potato enchiladas, right? And for some reason, I've been craving Mexican food. I don't know what's up with that. And I cannot go to the local Mexican restaurant, because we already know how that would turn out, right? Can't go to the local Mexican restaurant because whatever cheese, whatever dairy they use, it ain't sitting right, right? It ain't sitting right. Bubble guts, just I don't know. What is it, y'all? What is it? What is it with the local Mexican restaurants, right? What is it with their dairy? I don't know if they overdo the dairy. I don't know. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Let me open up this can of beans real quick. Um, yeah. Anyways, what are y'all eating for dinner? What are y'all eating for dinner tonight? I told y'all what we're eating. What are y'all eating? Do y'all have picky kids? Do y'all have picky kids or picky family members? You want to know who's picky? Dream is actually kind of picky, right? He's actually kind of picky. Even when I said we were having enchiladas today, he was like, like kind of questioning, how it was going to turn out. But I be knowing, right? I be knowing how the food is going to turn out, how it's all going to work out, and how delicious it's going to be. Do y'all have picky eaters in y'all's household? Hell, are you a picky eater? Like, do you go out to eat and you only eat chicken tenders? We have a family member like that. Matter of fact, it's Dream's brother. We go out to eat, he gets the same thing everywhere we go. It's going to be some form of chicken, right? Real basic, okay? The kids are the same way, just a pizza or just some chicken tenders. While I'm the type, I'm trying to try everything, right? I probably have never heard of it before. It's probably totally different. I probably don't know how to pronounce it. I probably, I want to try it. I want to try it. I want to see what it's about, okay? So really quickly, let's get into this topic, the power of asking. Y'all know it's been since the summer. Since the summer, I've been kind of been off of. I swear, every time I go live, you just want to pop your head in. That's cool though. You don't have to come get in the camera, but I guess. Hi. You said it's because what, Kai? It's because I need my different thing. You don't even. What you need to do? Go to the restroom. Okay. You sure going the long way to go to the bathroom. How she cut through the kitchen to go to the bathroom? Bathroom over there. She came this way, went through the play area, and then went over there. Funny girl. So, I've been away off of social media in general since the summer. And y'all, when I tell y'all it was not an intentional thing, just the inspiration or the desire to be on social media, the desire to be creating videos and such, it just wasn't there. And a part of my ego, knowing that, putting myself out there, having these conversations is the way that I make money in a sense. I, humanly and egotistically kind of felt bad about that. I felt some type of way about it. And, but that time was so necessary because in those moments, I got to asking God a lot of questions. I got to asking the Most High a lot of questions, higher self. Just a lot of questions, because I'm just like, what is the real calling? How do I sustain this work? How do I bring more enjoyment? How do I, bring more Desiree into the equation? What am I supposed to be doing? How do I create more balance? And, the Bible says, ask and you shall receive, right? Knock and the door shall be answered. And I've just been asking so many questions and getting so many answers. And so I kind of was talking to Spirit about, well, how do we really ask and really get answers? And that's what I want us to talk about today. The number one thing that I realize when it comes down to, I need to be doing stuff while I'm talking to y'all. So hold on, let me get an onion out real quick. Cause listen, Dream is like, your cooking be taking long, especially when you're on that live stream. So I'm like, girl, you supposed to be talking and cutting at the same time. You ain't just sitting on the live stream as if you were sitting in front of a computer. So let me remember that. But the number one thing Spirit shared with me about asking and you shall receive, right? Because we all have things that we want to manifest. We all have things that we want to bring forth, right? Whether it is, a better paying job, more abundance, love, clarity in your relationships, clarity in your relationships, guidance on how to raise your children better, right? What is your purpose? What divine sacred work are you meant to be doing? Like, all of these things are answers that we are needing in order to feel no. Go back outside. Have you had a snack already today? I think you have. So you're gonna wait till this dinner is finished, and then after that, if you're still hungry. So, man, it's so important to ask questions because we all have things that we want to do. We all have things that we need to accomplish. And you know what they say? The thing that keeps a lot of people stagnant is they're not asking the right questions. And that is so freaking important. And let me tell y'all, it can be scary to ask the right questions because there could be a sense of fear that the answer you receive, you're not going to like. So you'd rather not ask it. Have y'all ever thought about that? I started working at the volleyball school just a few days out of the week. And I really, really love it. Like, I have so much fun. And it's almost like a reprieve and like just a moment away for Desiree to just be Desiree, right? And not necessarily have to be mom, business owner, coach. Just spiritual advisor, like none of those things. Like, when I go there, that's the sweet potatoes. I want to keep that on, even though I'm turning that off. But it's just been such a blessing to me. And I told y'all this before in another video that, a lot of times, especially in the spiritual community, people think having a job is so bad. Oh my God, you work for the man. You should be an entrepreneur, business owner, whatever. But you never know what a specific job may be like opening up and activating inside of you. So when I started working at the volleyball school a few months ago, I already knew that there was something deeper, more powerful happening there inside of me. I knew I was giving back to children, which is something that I love, inspiring, motivating kids. I got 4 kids, so that's what I'm meant to be doing, right? On some level or another. I knew that I loved the exercise, right? Because having kids and, being a mompreneur, so working from home and having the kids at home, exercising, it could be challenging because you got these little people you got to care for. So I knew that it was going to be an opportunity for me to exercise and work out and have that fun. But I also just knew that it was an opportunity for me to get back to what I love, which is volleyball, which is coaching, sports in general, And so it was that. And then so quickly, because I brought into the space all of this love. Let me get these sweet potatoes out before they burn. Because I was bringing into the space all of this love that I had, the love that I have, and everything that just kind of makes me me. Because that's what I was doing, so many opportunities unfolded at the volleyball school. Without me asking, they said, okay, we want to give you a raise because you are just bringing such powerful energy here. We got to pay you more. And I appreciate that. I respect that because a lot of times people have to ask for that raise or you have to be there for 3 months, 6 months, a year before they increase you, even though you may be bringing more value, right? But at the volleyball school, I didn't have to do that. Now, y'all about to get a little quick bend over back shot. Excuse me, okay? Because I got to bend down over here and get these sweet potatoes, and there's just nothing I can do about that right now. So close your eyes. Ooh. Hopefully y'all didn't get too much of a view, okay? Hopefully y'all didn't get too much of a back shot view. I know Dream probably would not appreciate that, okay? Anyways, so this meal requires for you to bake the sweet potatoes first because we want our sweet potatoes nice and soft. As you see them back there, I gotta let them cool all the way down. They gotta cool all the way down. Once they are cooled down, I'm gonna mix black beans, sweet potatoes, vegan feta, vegan shredded cheese, green chilies. We're gonna mix all of that together, and that is going to be the filling for these enchiladas. So we're letting that do that. We're letting that, it's really sizzling hot right now. Actually, let me get this out too. Tortillas, y'all. Good old tortillas. Y'all, H-E-B is like the best store ever. I don't know if y'all have H-E-Bs where y'all are. I think it's the Texas company, but it's like one of the best grocery stores ever. If you are ever in Texas, go to H-E-B to go grocery shopping. These tortillas right here, they make them in-house, so it's not so artificial. Like literally, they will spoil. They will be done. You got to use them as quick as you get them, right? Anyways, so at the volleyball school, they gave me that raise, right? But then 2-3 weeks later, they're like, all right, we actually need to, and I kind of told y'all about this in another video, but they're like, okay, we need to put you in a supervisor position up here, right? A manager position. And I was flattered by that. I was like, okay, really quickly. I just been working here for like 2 months. Y'all already want to kind of push me up to this level. And I'm grateful for that, right? But there were some requirements that they have for people in a managerial kind of position. And when it comes down to like jobs and money and time and things like that, it's a little bit of a negotiation that has to happen. And I remember being, them telling me the times that they would want me to come in. Everything is in the evening time, so I get to take care of my kids and do all of that. But I remember them telling me the commitment that they wanted me to make and me being apprehensive about it and not wanting to ask them more questions because I'm like, I'm liking what y'all are presenting, but I got some questions because I have a whole life at home and things that I have to do and requirements, et cetera, et cetera. And so I was anxious about asking them certain questions. Fortunately, I got Dream in my ear. So every time I'm coming home from the volleyball place, he's like, no, you need to da-da-da-da. Being a masculine man that he is, being a husband that he is. This is why we as women do need strong masculine men in our corner, because they uplift us and they ground us and they push us to do, say, and ask the hard questions, especially when it comes down to us being out in the world like that. And so Dream is like, no, you got to ask them this, you got to ask them that. And at some point, I'm like getting frustrated with Dream because I'm like, damn, you want me to keep going back to the table asking these people question after question after question? I'm like, I think what they're presenting is good, right? I think what they're presenting is fair. You want me to keep going asking and asking and asking? And because he's my man and because I know he has our best interest at heart as a family, I had to put my big girl jaws on and just go ask, right? Just go ask the hard questions. And we ended up, some things they said no to, some things they said yes to. And it's been a good balance so far with me doing what I love and being compensated handsomely for it and still getting to run and operate a business from home. But I say all of that to say they are really loud out there. I don't know if y'all just heard them, but they just got real crunk, right? I say all of that to say we got to conquer that fear of asking hard, difficult questions. because we never know what the answer is going to be. You just don't know what the answer is going to be. And there's so much power in asking questions, because when we ask questions, we're also kind of letting it be known spiritually, physically, business wise, relationship wise. We're kind of letting it be known where we actually stand in the situation. So the questions that I'm asking them, okay, what's the timing looks like? What's the pay look like? What if this happens? What if that happens? Me presenting them with those questions was me letting them know, one, I value my time. I value my time. I know how much my time, first of all, my time cannot literally be compensated. What I have to offer is priceless, right? But also I know from like a business perspective what I should be receiving for what I have to offer. So me asking questions from a business perspective made them feel like, she ain't just taking whatever. And so a lot of times in life, we have a fear of asking questions because we don't want the answer to be that thing that we resist. But what I've learned, even through this most recent experience, is that even when the answer is not what you want it to be, you're still good. And so that comes, that's a powerful understanding, whether it is in business, right, in work. That's a powerful understanding in relationships. Some of you have questions, you need to ask your partner. You need to ask them, okay, what do you see for us in the future? Is marriage in the cards? Okay. Is more children, or do you want children? Is that in the card? Okay. What does a home life look like in this relationship with you? Are we more traditional, right? In the sense, mother, woman stays home, watches the kids, keeps the house organized, man goes out and hunts, brings home the money. Like, these questions we have to ask in order for us to know where we actually stand in any given situation. And it's the same thing when talking to God. Same exact thing when talking to the Most High. And it's such a beautiful thing, because this just happened to me the other day. Let me rinse off these beans really quickly so we can move right along in this meal. Like, you know what it is, y'all? You know what it is? Like, the fear of like having a question to ask your mother. Like, how many of y'all were afraid to ask your mother questions? Whether it's, and I know it to be true, right? Like, I'm asking y'all just so we can have a dialogue, just so we can have a conversation. But I know for me, there's only specific things I'm going to ask my mom. Like, I'm not going to ask her growing up. I wouldn't ask her about sex, of course. I wouldn't ask her about smoking or anything like that, or drinking. If I'm asking her anything, I'm asking her, what should I do about this sport? Or what should I do about this coach? Or even if I'm coming to ask my mom anything, it's because I probably couldn't deal with or handle whatever was showing up. And it's not supposed to be like that, right? It's not supposed to be like that. Hell, I want my kids, I really desire for my kids to be able to come to me about anything. Whatever it is they got going on, come ask me. Don't go ask Tony or Janelle or Papa. That's just some KJ and Kyra and friends. Don't go ask them. Come ask me. Come ask me about it. But when that type of energy hasn't been, that type of stage hasn't been set, we are afraid to ask the quote unquote authority, right? For whatever reason. Because maybe, just maybe, if you ask your mama about sex, she assumes you're having sex, right? If you ask your mama about weed, automatically you've been smoking weed, you've been, whatever. So it's like when you ask a question, there's automatically an assumption that is connected to that question. And so we grow up and we get conditioned, you know, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, to not ask for all the reasons. Don't want to be judged for whatever question you have. You don't want to receive the answer that's not what you really want. And so we will go throughout life without the clarity that we actually need, without the information that we actually need for us to be successful in whatever realm we are actually dealing with. Is we got to ask the hard questions too. When it comes down to our lives, our purpose, you know, what we need to do to bring forth that manifestation, we got to ask the hard questions. And so like just the other day, I was like, okay, Spirit, I was laying in the bed and I was just kind of thinking about how I just been really enjoying just taking care of home. I've been really just enjoying taking care of home, taking care of myself. I've really just been enjoying my solitude, really, right? And so I'm asking Spirit, okay, what do I need to do to get back into my creative flow as far as speaking goes, right? As far as talking. And matter of fact, this is how this came about, right? Asking these questions is how we actually got here with making these videos. Because I'm like, okay, Spirit, I don't want to just be sitting down in front of the camera all the time, just talking about spirituality all the time. Like, it's just, it can become so, I don't want to use the word force because I never force it. I've never been a forcer. But it can just become so repetitive. And I'm like, I just want to do something different, right? So that's even how we got here. Uh-oh. Nice. This is what I need. Right? So that's how we got here, by me asking Spirit, okay, what else can I do? Right? So this is what I want y'all to know, too. So every Thursday, I'm still going to go live, but I'm going to do it differently. So every other Thursday, I'm going to come here. We're going to cook together. We're going to talk. You know, just, it's not going to be so formal. I'm going to be walking around doing whatever the hell I need to do to be taking care of business. Like right now, I got to keep moving, right? Like I can't just not move. Because best believe I got responsibilities, right? So, yeah, it's just going to be more, less planned, just more, I'm just showing up. I just want to say hey to y'all, kind of vibe. So, I was asking Spirit, like, how do I switch it up? Because I like to switch things up. I'm an eclectic person. You know, a lot of times they say Libras are indecisive. I don't subscribe to that. I don't think Libras are indecisive. I think Libras are multifaceted. I think Libras are eclectic in a sense. I think, you know, people who are like me in their approach to life, we just have many interests. We have a lot of things that we are into. And so sticking to the same one thing for too long can sometimes just get like boring, I guess. So that's what this whole thing is about. But I had to ask Spirit. I'm like, what do I need to do right now to still be me, still create, still talk? Because I love talking. I love having these powerful conversations. But most importantly, what do I need to do to grow? Oh my God, such a good question to ask your spirit team. When's the last time y'all asked y'all spirit team that? Let's talk about that. When's the last time you explicitly asked your spirit team, what is it do I need to do right now to really grow, to really change, to really prosper, to really evolve, right? Tell me in the comments. So I just rinsed off these black beans, right? Y'all know black beans. Black beans are really ready to go, right? Like real easy. Got the oven still on. Let me bring these I'm gonna bring these, actually, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna dump all of our stuff. This recipe is so easy and so delicious, y'all. I can't make it up. So, vegan feta. This is how I'm making everything vegan, right? Vegan feta crumbles, dairy free. Pouring that in there. Let's do the whole thing. Perfect. We got some vegan shredded cheese. See, I'm all into the, the healthier lifestyle, but I still want to have fun with my food, okay? And I'm pretty sure if Bobby Price or Yaki, were listening to this video, they would agree, right? They would agree. They would probably say, oh, the vegan cheese is this or that. But they would agree. They would agree that food does not have to be boring to be healthy, right? So I'm about to, no, I'm not going to season that up just yet. Let me put these sweet potatoes in here. I'm going to show y'all everything that I'm doing. So we got the black beans in here. We got the feta cheese. We got the shredded cheese in here. We're going to add the black beans. We're going to add the sweet potatoes and some green chilies. I'm glad. Ultra Instinct says last night. And what answer did you receive? Because that's a good question to ask yourself. What answer did you receive and how are you implementing that? See, Dream is coming up in here with no shirt on, but I'm gonna be selfish about that. He can't come over here and get in the camera for y'all. Sorry. Sorry. Y'all just gonna have to miss out on that. Okay? Because he been in the gym. Okay? He been doing his tricep curls and bicep curls and push-ups, and so yeah, y'all gonna have to miss out, okay? You gotta protect your goods, okay? You have to protect your goods. That's just what it is. So I had to say that so he'd walk on that way instead of coming through here and giving y'all some giving y'all a little flash, okay? A little flash, because he was definitely shirtless. What am I looking for? I know what I'm looking for. I need to bring those sweet potatoes over here. So the other night I had asked that to Spirit. Where is this blood? Ma'am. No yelling, ma'am. So I don't want to see that anyway. I know that's right. So yeah. More grounding, more working out, more reading. I mean, your stuff sound like mine, Ultra Instinct. That's just the reality. Spirit was like, and so I guess that's also why I'm called to be on here right now and share this with y'all. Y'all, we need movement. We also really need meditation. Listen. And I'm telling y'all from a person who has, meditated on and off for whatever reason. At one point in my life, there was no such thing as on and off meditation. At one point in my life, nothing was coming before my meditation. But ever since I had kids, right when I had kids, I hadn't been able to find that everyday meditation flow. And a part of me, felt bad about that. But at the same time, I know it's really about me being more disciplined and just choosing to do that by any means necessary. That's the key. It has to be by any means necessary. You understand? Like, even if it's, and it was funny because Dream and I were talking about this the other day, even if it's just 5 minutes, but still getting that in, right? Even if it's just 10 minutes, still getting that in, right? Not feeling like, oh, I only got 5 minutes to do this meditation. I only got 5 minutes to just breathe. It's not worth it. It's not real. So I guess I'm not going to do it. Nah, that's a lie. That's ego. Or that's that set energy that wants to keep you the same, that wants to keep you in that fight or flight. So when I had even asked Spirit, I said, okay, Spirit, what do I need to do to really grow right now? Like, there are certain, because here's what be happening. We'll be growing in certain areas in our lives, and then another area in our lives becomes stagnant, right? So like going to the volleyball school, I've grown a lot, just by being there and having to coach girls again, having to supervise grown women. It has forced me to grow in certain ways. Not only forced me to grow, but it's helped me to see certain skills that I already had that I didn't really realize that I had, right? That's good. Sweet potato is so good. So I already knew that I could speak. I already knew that I could motivate and encourage people. But now having to do that from like a supervisory type space, which means, on one hand, I may be encouraging you, but I may also be telling you, hey, you got to get yourself together. Like, I could do that, like when we're talking about spirituality. But then when we're talking about people who did not necessarily solicit my services, it still is kind of challenging, to tell a grown woman, hey, you've been showing up to this job late too much. Like, that's kind of crazy. But that's what I'm being tasked to do. So I'm growing in that area. I'm growing in being, sort of an authority in a space, right? But anyways, so Spirit was just like, okay, Desiree, I sat down in bed a little while ago and I was just like, okay, Spirit, just tell me explicitly some things that I need to do better. Some things that I need to do better right now, today. Like not wasting no time. Let's go. Spirit was like, gotta move more. Yes, you're going to the volleyball school. You're exercising there through playing volleyball. But you need to exercise at home. First thing in the morning. Squats, push-ups, all the things. You need to get that in. I'm like, all right, Spirit, I hear you. Spirit is like, okay, you need to do a better job at looking at your budget, sis, because you get excited about whatever and you just go. And I was like, okay, Spirit, I can do that. And then another thing, just multiple things were coming up, right? So I had to ask the hard questions and I had to get real with myself on the ways in which I wasn't being my absolute best self, right? And so that's what this thing is all about. Ask the questions, get the answers, okay? So how do we ask good questions? How do we ask the questions that need to be asked, right? First of all, we got to have our heart in it. Our heart has to be in it. So when I was talking to Spirit about all of this, I was like, really like, I know that there's more that I have to do, right? I know that there's more that I need to create. I know that there's more that I'm supposed to say. I know that there's more women that I'm supposed to help. I know that I'm supposed to be. So I had a deep feeling. In my heart, a sense of deep sincerity, right? Just real deep, real genuine, real like, all right, like there's more, right? There's more. And yes, I've kind of taken this little break. Yes, I've been kind of occupied in another space and place. But sis, you got work to do. You got work to do. So I'm like, okay, Spirit, well, how do I discover what's my next thing, right? Oh my God, when I tell y'all Spirit came through so beautifully. I'm laying in the bed. I'm laying in the bed thinking, and I'm being receptive to these answers, right? So first of all, you got to ask the question sincerely. You got to ask the question from your heart. You got to really want to know, and not want to know just to know. You got to want to know because you're about to do something about it. I'm going to let y'all chew on that one. You can't want to know something. Oh, God, thank you, Spirit. What I realize a lot of times on this spiritual path, or, whatever we call it, deciding to explore this energy that seems that many people feel like is beyond them, right? Wanting to explore like deeper levels of understanding. What I realize a lot of times people want to know something just to know it, and not necessarily to have an experience with it. Which, knowing something to know it, I mean, that's cool. That's cool, right? I understand that too. But what I realized for myself is that sometimes knowing something just to know it can I don't want to say be a waste of time, because everything can come back around in due time, right? In due time, I truly believe everything does come back around. But sometimes we are listening to something, engaging with something, watching a certain video, reading a certain book just because, and not because it's something that is actually pulling on our hearts and our spirits in this moment in time. Not because it's something that our spirit team, our higher self, our God squad, our angels are like, okay, you need to know this right now, because this right now is what's going to change and shift your reality. So there's a difference. All right? So when we're going to God, when we're going to the Most High, when we're going to our spirit team with a question, we want to know it not for the sake of regurgitating, not for the sake of just being able to say, oh, that's cool, that's interesting. We want to know it because this specific thing is going to shift our current situation and circumstance and align us more powerfully with who and what we were meant to be. So that's number one. When we're asking the divine, so let me show y'all what we got with this food really quickly. I know this probably doesn't, oh, it still looks beautiful, okay? Sweet potato and black beans. If y'all don't know, sweet potato and black beans, they go together like, white on rice, okay? They go together like Craig and Day Day. They go together like, chips and salsa, cereal and milk, right? They just go together. So if you are ever needing some food inspiration, and a lot of times for me, I always have sweet potatoes and black beans. Right now, I'm seasoning this mixture with some chili powder, garlic powder, all-purpose seasoning. I'm also going to season it with some cumin, which is a beautiful spice that always goes well in like Mexican inspired foods. Also, I would say, side note, if y'all don't know, sometimes you probably want to buy your spices in bulk, right? So like, I need to put this into a little glass jar, but like spices like cumin, coriander, things like that, you are going to get more bang for your buck buying it in bulk rather than buying it, in a little, container like this, okay? Also, if y'all want a really delicious snack, Spice Hunter smoky turmeric. Oh my God, this is healthy for your body, because we know turmeric is good for inflammation, right? Turmeric is great for inflammation. So if you sprinkle some of this on some avocado, avocado is a healthy fat. They say turmeric digests better on fat, right? So this is why they say drink turmeric milk, which is just milk you will boil on the stove, then you sprinkle some turmeric in it, a little bit of black pepper, some honey, some vanilla extract. If you're dealing with inflammation, you drink that at night and it will help you to sleep like a baby. It will deflame the body in a sense and just get your joints, muscles, all of that stuff feeling good. This smoky turmeric though, on top of avocado, delicious snack, healthy fat, good for the brain, good for inflammation. That was a whole little side note, okay? That was a whole little side note, but yeah. Where was I at? Yeah, we don't want to just be knowing things just to know it. We want to go to the divine asking questions so that we have the opportunity to change our lives. And so when I asked Spirit, okay, what do I need to do right now? And I got all of these answers. Like, oh, I was like, damn, what took me so long? I'm like, why didn't I explicitly ask that question? Like, why have I been over here trying to figure it out on my own, right? That'd be another thing that we be doing. We be trying to figure out stuff all on our own. And again, that's a trauma response. Ooh, come on. Let me tell y'all. When you are afraid to ask questions, because when we're asking questions, we're getting clarity. Us getting that clarity is us receiving help in a sense, right? When we have clarity, we make better decisions. This chart. When we have clarity, we make better decisions. When we have clarity, we are just better, more control, more in tune with whatever it is we got going on. And so, you know, as kids, depending on what type of family, what type of household you grew up in, you may grew up in a house that said, you know, you got to handle business by yourself. So what you mean, ask mama, ask daddy, ask somebody? You know what I mean? And you carry that same type of energy. And then you carry that same type of energy into your adulthood and into your spirituality. Right? And then you want, you know, you want readings and things like that, which I'm all for that, right? I do readings. I haven't done them in a few months. Like the last time I did readings, like soul readings, was in July, August, September, October, November, December. Yeah, it was in July. And I've stuck to that. I've stuck to, I'm only doing readings for, you know, the family and Patreon. And then we'll see when I want to get back into it, right? Like when I want to say, all right, y'all, let's get these readings popping to like the general public. But I just, you know, I gotta listen to that divine guidance. But it's a trauma response to feel like we can ask questions. It's a trauma response to feel like, you know, we gotta just figure out this life thing on our own. And being in that trauma, y'all, is just not healthy, right? So we got to learn to ask the Most High. We got to learn to ask God. We got to learn to be like, okay, what is this? What do I need to know about this situation? What do I do in this situation? And then when we ask, we act. When we ask, we act. So there are still things that I need to do spiritually that I received feedback on from my higher self, from God. There's still things that I need to do, but the things that I was able to like do immediately, I did immediately. Like, hi girl, I did immediately. Like I was like, nah, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take care of that, and I did. And when I tell y'all, I'm gonna talk about this more when I get back into my womb alchemy work. But when I tell y'all, Spirit came through with some things that I have been wanting, things that I have been needing, right? I have been, you doing the most, girl. You might as well just walk if you're going to duck on through. You so silly. So, there was I had been asking Spirit, like, okay, what's going on with this area of my life? What's going on? And when Spirit gave me the answer to the question that I was having about, like, what do I need to do now to grow? When I listened, that thing, see, I got to talk about it somewhere else. But that thing that I was also asking Spirit for came online. I hope y'all get what I'm saying. Really should have been warming up those tortillas on a stove. I'm just warming them up 5 seconds so I can roll up these enchiladas, right? Let me see. Really, I'm gonna do 10 seconds just so that as I put the filling inside of it and I roll it, you know, they stick together and the tortillas don't like rip. Know what I'm saying? I'm sure y'all understand what I'm saying. But so there was something, you know, going on in my personal life where I was like, okay, Spirit, I want this to happen. I want this to come through. I want this thing to awaken inside of me, right? And so I was asking Spirit questions, and when I got the answer and I immediately did what Spirit told me to do, came online. I started receiving what I needed to receive, and it was perfect, and I feel so blessed. So let me show y'all this, right? So this is sweet potatoes, black beans, vegan cheese, green chilies, all kind of mixed up together. And what I'm going to do now, I'm going to take this tortilla. I'm going to do a little spoonful of the sweet potato mix, a little spoonful of that. Wrap it up like so, right? Look at that sweet potato coming out. Wrap it up like so, and I'm going to just lay it across my pan. So, y'all, I'm telling y'all, ask God, right? Ask the Most High to give you clarity. Don't try to, don't feel like how we were made to feel as kids, right? Like there is a such thing as a dumb question, or like you're gonna be judged for asking a specific question. But then not only that, ask questions in your relationships, ask questions, at your jobs, ask your family questions, right? So another reason why this topic is so important is because one of the things that I'm doing right now is I'm spending a lot of time with my grandma. It's almost a year that my grandfather passed away, right? And it's been interesting, right? It's been interesting. But my grandma has needed us more because she doesn't have her husband anymore, right? And so I've been doing her hair, taking her to doctor's appointments. I've been doing all the things for her. I've been like her primary caretaker, and it's been such a blessing. And it's just given me the opportunity to ask her questions, to ask her things that I needed to know. And she's told me some things that I think is just like absolutely like crazy. I asked my grandmother, I said, Grandma, how did you meet Papa? Like, how did that happen? She said, girl, I just saw him on the street. And I said, well, how did y'all get together? Like, you saw him on the street, then what happened? She said, girl, I don't even know. Like, basically, she was telling me how, and this is how you know the world is just different and the world has just changed. Because she was just like, I didn't find your grandpa attractive. I didn't really like him. But she was in a situation, at that time in the 60s, women, you had to have a man. If you didn't have a man, for a lot of women, you didn't have anything without a man, which is weird to say because now society is like, girl, you don't need no man, right? But I think at that time we were hyper dependent on men, right? And now society wants to make a lot of women hyper independent, right? Hyper independent, and not understanding interdependence, not understanding that we can work together in our relationships. We can work together as the masculine and as the feminine. So I asked my grandma, what happened with you and Pawpaw? She was like, yeah, girl, I didn't really like your Pawpaw. She said, but I got with him to get out of another bad situation. And and when I asked that question, it made sense. It made sense in a way to where I'm like, okay, we gotta know and understand. My grandma saying that is her basically saying, baby, I was in a trauma response when I got with your grandpa. I didn't get with your grandpa like the old love stories we be seeing on TV that we love so much, of the old black couple that's been in love for 20, 30, 40 years. That wasn't my grandma's situation. My grandma got with my grandpa because she needed a way out. So that gave me clarity on another issue or other questions that I had, right? So there's so much power, so much spiritual power when we ask questions. Even with Dream and I in our relationship, one of the practices that I have to do with him, because he's a very interesting communicator, right? We speak different languages in a sense. And because we speak different languages, I often need translation, if you know what I mean. So I've had to learn to be okay with asking him questions and getting that clarity. Hi, sir. It's over here. Careful right there. You know what I mean? But asking those questions and not just resting in what I believe I know, right? Not just sitting in that feeling of this or that and really getting that clarity. That's helped our relationship, That's helped us to be a better couple. Things that we would have argued about, we don't got to argue about, because instead of me just assuming I know the answer, I asked the question. So like our spirit team, God the Most High, is asking us, are we willing to ask and receive? And not only that, because I know y'all are willing to ask, but are you willing to act on the answers that you've been given? I got work to do, so y'all are gonna see me, coming back around with some stuff that I've been doing, work that I've been into, but I stopped doing for whatever reason. But Spirit says you got to get back into it. That's you. That's your thing, D-Ray. That's who you are. You got to do that. So I'm like, okay, I got to do that. Right? So I want y'all to ask your higher selves. So also understand, how do you receive your insights? How do you receive your wisdom? Right? How does it come through? Mine's come through direct channeling, like I just can hear it. Sometimes I dream about it, right? So good. Spirit has been working with me recently a lot. Working with me and working on me. Sometimes I dream about things. And then sometimes it comes through conversations with other people. So what is it for y'all? It's the light. What is it for y'all? How do your downloads come through? When you ask the divine, what is it that you need to do right now in this moment? When you ask Spirit, okay, what are you supposed to be creating? When you ask Spirit, are you supposed to be in this relationship? When you ask those questions, how do you receive those answers? That's another big thing. A lot of times, people aren't asking questions because they don't believe they're going to receive an answer. They feel like they are not being heard. Right? Like, God, can you hear me? I'm talking to you. Why am I not receiving any feedback? You are receiving feedback. You just don't know how the feedback is actually coming through. So you got to know that, right? Does God, does the Most High always speak to you through the voice of someone else, right? Is it your mother randomly calling out of nowhere and her mentioning something, right? Is it, you watching TV and you just hear something related to the question that you had, right? How does it happen for you? If you can start to identify that, you're going to feel more confident and more assertive in asking questions to God, to the Most High, to your angels, okay? You're going to feel more conviction in asking those questions because you know that you're never unheard, right? So I just want to recommend that to y'all. I want to recommend that y'all ask the Most High for clarity, that you get those answers, because there's so much power in that. And you literally can change your situation by just asking the right questions, asking the hard questions, asking the questions that your heart is connected to. And also understand that it's not just about asking the Most High, but there may be even people in your life, like my grandma, who can give you clarity about certain things, right? Who can help you to understand your lineage, who can help you to understand your DNA, because absolutely 100% facts. If you could understand where you come from, you can have clarity on where you're trying to go, right? If you can become aware of where you come from, right? The people that came before you, through asking questions, whether you are asking questions of them spiritually, right? Because maybe what if they're not around and you have to speak to the spirit of them? I guarantee you can get some answers, okay? If you are blessed with the opportunity to still talk to a loved one in the physical, ask them questions. Talk about the hard stuff. Talk about the challenges that they face. Because you may look up in your life and be like, oh shit, I'm going through the same thing. Which is what even led me to ask my grandma, how you and Papa got together? And a part of that story to me is so cute because Dream and I's love story is so precious, right, to me. It's a beautiful story, how we got together, right? How we reconnected. And I was hoping that my grandmother would have a similar story. Honey, no, she didn't. And so that just gave me some light and some understanding. Okay, y'all. So I want to show y'all where I am with all of this. Let me do this. I am coming to the end of this. What a freaking gift it is to prepare food for my family. What a gift it is. I'm going to show y'all what this is looking like. This is when I need Dream to open up a jar. Ugh. Oh, y'all. This is really making me flex. And I don't want to be looking funny on here, y'all. Ooh, got it. Okay. So what I'm doing is just covering these enchiladas in some green salsa verde. I ended up having 2 pans of salsa, which is a blessing because I have a big family. And guess who eats the most? It's not Dream. Who eats the most is Mr. Kai actually eats the most. Our baby actually eats the most out of everybody. He eats more than his older siblings. And so a lot of food in this household is absolutely necessary. Those of you who have like 1 kid, 2 kids, and all of that, I hope your grocery bill is not too high, right? I hope your grocery bill is not too high, because ours over here, y'all, I was looking at our budget or whatever, our monthly budget. I'm looking at it. And I'm looking at how much we spend on groceries and food. My God. Thousands a month. And I didn't even realize it. I told Dream, I said, babe, we spend a lot of money on food a month. And guess who he blamed? He said, man, that's Kai. That's Kai. Because, you know, he want crackers. He want all types of stuff for his food. And I'm just like, we got to figure this out. Shoot. I'm like, how are we already at, you know, $1,200 and it's only a week and a half into the month? Kids, you know, our oldest ones, every time they come home from school, first thing they asking for is a snack, y'all. How do y'all manage? Oh, God. How do you manage that, right? Like, and then I'm the type of parent, because of who my mother was, if they asking for a snack, I'm not going to tell them no, they can't have a snack. That don't make sense. If they hungry, they need to eat something. But these kids, they eat. Now I understand the saying, they'll eat you out of house and a home. Y'all remember that saying? Now I understand that. Now that I got my own and they, you know, our bill be going through the roof. All right, let me let y'all see this before I put this in the oven. Hopefully y'all are on Patreon, because I'm not going to be sticking around here while it's in the oven. So hopefully y'all are on Patreon. Hopefully y'all are our Patreon family, because if you are, then I'm going to post a picture there. But even if I don't post it on Patreon, I may post it on YouTube. Just a picture. Let y'all see this. Look at this. This is before going into the oven, okay? Mind you, this is all vegan for all of my vegans out there. This is before going into the oven, okay? So obviously, when it comes out, all of this stuff is going to be nice and melted, and it's just going to be yummy. So, just to wrap this thing up, y'all, ask questions. Don't cheat yourself out of getting the clarity that you need in order to change your life, okay? This has been a wonderful conversation. I hope that y'all are able to really receive these words and apply it. I cannot wait to hear y'all be like, man, D-Ray, I asked this question and I got the answer like instantly. I can't wait to hear those stories from y'all. Hey, Janice. Yes, it's been a while. How have you been? How have you been? I hope you've been good. It has been a good while. Have you been here the whole time and you just been hanging out in the numbers instead of commenting? Have you? Either way, I'm so glad to see you. It has been a minute. Yes, be in touch. I want to know how you're doing. Listen, y'all, I love all of my clients. Like, I haven't, like, every client that I've worked with in the past, recently or not recently, we literally build a love for one another. And I really do be wanting to hear, like, updates from y'all, like, what's going on, right? Hopefully everything's working out. I really be wanting to know. So I'm glad that you just messaged here, sis. It's good to see you. All right, y'all. I'll talk to y'all later. I'll post a picture so that y'all can see how this all turns out. And I'm just looking forward to hearing from y'all. Ask that man that question that you need to ask him. Don't be afraid, girl. Brothers, ask that woman that question that you need to ask her. Ask that employer, right? If you at a job and you got questions about what that contract is talking about and making more money, ask those questions. And then obviously, if you are needing assistance from your divine spirit team, ask them questions, right? Don't be afraid of the answer. You're strong enough, you're resilient enough to deal with whatever shows up, okay? Stop putting it off. You're worth the answer. You have the power, and there's so many resources available for you to get the support you need to get to where you're trying to go. All right? Peace, y'all.